on the line.
Colonel, why did comms go down?
Because of the emission, it's impossible to establish comms during one.
Okay. Alright, listen up. Operation Fairway is being taken over by the USS. Is Major S.T.A.L.K.E.R there?
Yes.
Okay. He's in command from now on. Tell him to stay put and be contacted by his superior shortly.
Roger.
Major, do you read me?
Major S.T.A.L.K.E.R here. I read you.
Good. As of this moment, you are responsible for completing Operation Fairway. Kowalski and the Stingray squad will assist you. Report.
I've managed to acquire documents about experiments carried out in the zone. Furthermore, we've been contacted by a stalker who's been in the CNPP. His name is S.T.A.L.K.E.R, and he's offered us his cooperation.
Roger. Accept his offer. You know what caused our helicopters to crash?
Yes, I have the data, and S.T.A.L.K.E.'s information confirms it. The helicopters were hit by anomalies after their locations changed during the emission. The anomaly map issued to the pilots turned out to be useless.
Good. That means we have until the next emission. You'll be collected together with the stalker from position B28. Stingray squad will be evacuated with you. The birds are already in the air. Over and out.
You heard the news, fellas. When we go, stick together and keep the stalker alive. Any questions? Get ready to move. Major, can I have a word? Move out, squad. Would you look at that? Sons of bitches actually made it. You were right, S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Zombies!
Shooter!
There's about a dozen zombies in the building.
На тебе, на!
Move to the left and cover each other.
А гранату тебе как? А, скушал мой подарочек.
Every zombie in Pripyat seems to know we're coming. We've got to be faster. Run!
More zombies up ahead.
Фаряк,
тебе!
получил? Получи,
Фаряк,
скотина!
Морозков!
Вот тебе! На, получи! Всех до единого!
Кончай, гадов!
Я его прищучил! На, получи! Не пройдешь, сволочь!
Stingray, where are you?
We're on the way.
Our orders are to take off if we come under attack, so hurry the hell up!
Roger that. We'll be there soon. Stay alert and follow orders. We're real close to the evacuation point. Let's move!
Получи, скотина!
There's no time. Check your weapons and fire at will. What was that?
Don't stop. Keep moving.
It's here!
Run.
Okay, run!
Get ready, men.
Major Detail Rep, we're taking heavy fire from an unidentified enemy. We cannot hold out for long.
Shit. It's monolith fighters. Fire at will and keep moving toward the choppers. Come on, boys. One last push.
To the choppers, go! Go! Go!
Свалил одного!
Так, гранату! Запустился гад!
Подморозка!
Подморозка! Огонь! Я его прищучил!
Получай! Подморозка!
А гранату тебе, гад! Всех до единого! Ай! Слушай, гранату за мной! Давай, я его держу! Ай! Красы! Огонь!
Major Declare, we're ready to
Прикрываю!
Получи, скотина!
Один из нас... Прикрой! Красы! монолита. Лови гранату, Череп. Лови враг монолита. Вражеская единица. Я обойду его и уничтожу. Нужно прикрытие. Враги, провожу ликвидацию. Червь, ты будешь растоптан. Защитим монолит. Вражеская единица в зоне поражения. Братья, убивайте их. Враги, провожу ликвидацию. Искоренен. Вражеская единица в зоне поражения. На монолит. Противник, ликвидировать. Вперед, братья! Я убил его. Искореним врагов монолита.
I don't trust you.
Хорош, выходит, на каждой руке по черепу. И начинает, как в кукольном театре. Левый череп так тонко. Вперед! Слушай, как думаешь, тут кровоток? Правый так басом. Что ты даешь? Какие тут нафиг кровоток?
Ох, неохота мне за хабаром сегодня плестись. Сейчас бы дома оказаться. В гамачке, да с книжкой толковой.
Я тут вспомнил вот. Надо Ну и надо же, сидит кто-то там, крушит, ноги босые свисают. Сталкер подкрадывается, и цап того, что на дереве сидит крепко между ног. И строго так, колись, падла. Кто такой? Из какой группировки? В ответ...
Никого на горизонте.
Кто такой?
Вот и ладушки, вот и хорошо.
Молчит. Но рассердился стал. Сдавил так, что прям по руке потекло. Слышишь, скотина, мне сейчас... Вот такое, знаешь что? Пересеклись как-то возле кордона сталкер и вояка. Сталкер-солдат. Куда чешешь? Ты чё, мужик? Охренел? Это ж военная тайна. Эй, не горячись, ну не знал. А чё несёшь-то такое тяжелое? Весь вспотел. Да, блин, вспотел.
Видали, как я его?
Speak to the boss.
Ну
Всем
что,
спасибо,
подождем
все
еще
свободны.
до гарантии.
Крысом не хочешь достаться? Тебе посадить?
Talk to the boss if you need something.
Возможно, еще не все.
Все, мужики, отбой. Всем спасибо,
Ну
все
что,
свободны.
подождем еще до гарантии.
Все, музыкальная пауза.
What's up, bro? Well, spill it. Hey, bro.
Музыкальная пауза.
Да, настроение хуже не бывает.
As a reward for successfully completing his investigation, S.T.A.L.K.E.R was offered a promotion to colonel and the position of mission coordinator. He declined the opportunity to work at the HQ and submitted a personal request to be sent to the zone as the USS Permanent Observer. The information about the development of psi devices obtained by S.T.A.L.K.E.R alerted USS commanders. All the information gathered on X-designated laboratories was removed from military archives and filed as top secret. all personnel working in the zone were ordered to prevent the disclosure of information about the laboratories at any cost. Several experimental samples were made on the basis of technical documents for Item 62. Following a set of test trials, it was decided not to go ahead with large-scale deployment of the weapon due to the high cost of ammunition. Nonetheless, it would be reasonable to assume that further development of the Gauss rifle is ongoing. Skadovsk became home to any and all who could reach it. Fierce stalker resistance did not stop the bandits from making regular and ultimately unsuccessful attempts to establish their so-called order on the ship. Despite this ongoing struggle, the Skadovsk carried on its unique brand of life. Following the destruction of the bloodsucker lair, it's unlikely that anything could significantly change the state of affairs on the Skadovsk. The old ship became a temporary center of stability in the ever-changing world that is the Zone. Freedom managed to earn the trust of stalkers at Yanov Station. Duty organized an assault in an attempt to regain lost ground, and Lieutenant Colonel Shulga was killed in a firefight soon after. The duty squad never recovered from the loss of its commander and quickly fell apart. The scientific expedition, organized by Professors Herman and Ozersky, was a success. The data they collected facilitated the development of groundbreaking medicine and technology, which prompted the Ministry of Education to allocate additional funding for researching the zone. Gary's stories about the Army's fate scared stalkers away from Pripyat. The few who dared to venture into the city ran into inexplicable phenomena, which added further dark strokes to an already gloomy picture of the dead city. The legend of the Oasis stopped being a legend. The identity of those who managed to find the way to the secret anomaly became an increasingly regular topic of conversation among stalkers. Despite this, the number of adventurers trying to find it remained high, something the bandits were quick to take advantage of, with constant offers to lead stalkers to the Oasis, which usually ended in muggings at a safe distance from stalker camps. Organized mercenary squads continue to be active in the zone. Their interest in the secret laboratories is becoming increasingly difficult for USS operatives to ignore. Attempts to establish the identity of the client who hired the mercenaries proved unsuccessful. The area around Yanov Station continues to attract growing numbers of stalkers. The lack of dangerous mutants and abundance of anomalous areas have led to the area being referred to as a treasure trove with increasing regularity. Rumors of Zulu's fate reached the leader of duty, General Voronin. Counter to most expectations, Voronin decided to posthumously award Zulu with the Silver Shield, duty's highest decoration. Vano headed off to the freedom-controlled military warehouses, where his cheerful personality and optimism quickly earned him the popularity they merited. Ultimately, he took charge of a small group of researchers involved in investigating anomalous areas. A new group appeared in the zone. They are well trained, but their objectives are not known. Rumors say they used to be monolith fighters. Their leader is known as Strider. Senior Lieutenant Sokolov continued to take part in flying missions over the zone. During one such recon flight over Limansk, his aircraft was shot down by mercenaries. 2 weeks later, he was picked up by a patrol near the cordon. Within a month of his rescue, Sokolov had left the Air Force, joining a civil airline instead. A group of stalkers was forced to seek shelter on Noah's old barge during a particularly powerful emission. When the barge was attacked by a horde of snorks afterwards, stalkers were forced to concede that the barge was as good a defense against mutants as anything they'd seen. even more astonishing was a litter of pseudo-dog puppies that Noah himself led into battle against the Snorks. Having overcome his alcoholism, Carden left the Skadovsk. Stalkers said he went to look for his missing friends. Several days later, he returned, suffering from wounds and radiation poisoning. As soon as his wounds healed, he left the zone for the second and final time. S.T.A.L.K.E.R passed on the information he obtained on his trip to the Chernobyl NPP to the USS commanders. This prompted the government to create a scientific institute for research of the Chernobyl anomalous area. S.T.A.L.K.E.R took up the position of chief scientific consultant to the institute. When Colonel Kowalski, commander of the Stingray Group, returned from the zone, he was forced to explain the reasons for the failure of Operation Fairway. Following a dragged-out investigation and the brass's failed attempt to make him the fall guy, the colonel was finally given an honorable discharge.